All right, now we have some tragic news. CNN anchor and longtime Trump hater Jim Acosta made the announcement on a show yesterday that he is quitting. It was his last show, and the background here is that CNN wanted to move Jim Acosta from his daytime slot to midnight. I think he was on at 10 a.m., and they wanted to move him to midnight, which is, I mean, that's how much faith and pride the CNN brass had in Jim Acosta. That's how you know, right, that you're doing a great job on TV when your bosses come to you and say, we want to move your time slot. How far do you want to move it? About 14 hours.
All right, so in the clip, Matt Walsh slams Jim Acosta for quitting live on air. Jim Acosta was a CNN news anchor for many years. Jim has built his credibility and reputation over the years, interviewing hundreds of people on his talk show. However, CNN wanted to move his talk show from a morning slot to a late-night slot, which he was not willing to accept. Let's go ahead and take a listen here, where Matt Walsh slams Jim Acosta for quitting live on air.
We want to just push it back a bit, about 14 hours, and because there are probably about 10 people watching CNN at midnight, which is only half of their primetime audience, so it's a pretty steep drop. And so Acosta wouldn't do it. Acosta would not allow his show to be moved to midnight, which is a little surprising, considering that Jim Acosta, no offense, is a blood-sucking vampire goblin. So you'd think that midnight would be perfect for him. As a brainless zombie, you'd think that the graveyard shift would be right up his alley. But he said no, and so he gave his dramatic sign-off yesterday. Here it is.
It is never a good time to bow down to a tyrant. I've always believed it's the job of the press to hold power to account. I've always tried to do that here at CNN, and I plan on doing all of that in the future. One final message. Don't give in to the lies. Don't give in to the fear. Hold on to the truth and to hope. Even if you have to get out your phone, record that message. I will not give in to the lies. I will not give in to the fear. Post it on your social media so people can hear from you too. I'll have more to say about my plans in the coming days, but until then, I want to thank all of you for tuning in. It has been an honor to be welcomed into your home for all these years. That's the news. Reporting from Washington, I'm Jim Acosta.
Good Lord. What a dork. I mean, I know this is not the most profound insight, but what a dork this guy is. Just a dork. Like, this is, I don't condone bullying, but this is why bullies fill a role in society. This is someone who just needs to be shoved into a locker. Like, this is someone who just needs to have his head dunked in a toilet and be shoved into a locker. I'm not condoning it. I'm not saying that should happen. I guess I did just say it should happen, but that's not, I'm figuratively, like metaphorically, in a totally metaphorical, non-physical sense, he needs to be, have his head dunked in a toilet and shoved into a metaphorical locker. Just a dork. Take out your phone. Post this message on your social medias. I will not give in to the lies. He's trying to start, and nobody posted that, by the way. Not a single person. He's trying to start a movement. Post it on your social media. No one did. Not a single person did. You could tell he wanted this so badly to be his network moment, right? His I'm mad as hell, I'm not going to take it anymore moment. He wanted this to be an iconic, this would be his iconic, defiant, bold, brave.
Looks like Matt Walsh is absolutely slamming Jim Acosta here. Sounds to me like he's kind of making fun of Jim for attempting to create a big moment out of his announcement. It seems to me that Jim didn't really do a good job, and I have to agree with Matt Walsh on this one. I mean, come on, look at it this way. You're still on the CNN platform, so anything you say that goes against the network will immediately be censored by CNN. That's probably the reason why Jim Acosta's final message seemed so broad and plain, in my opinion.
You guys didn't remind me to turn this off. That's on you. He wanted this to be his defiant moment, and it just didn't. It didn't work, and instead it was just lame and boring. And on top of that, he fumbled over his words multiple times. So, huge dork, and that's it for Jim Acosta. I can only imagine that seeing him leave so abruptly was very upsetting for his viewer. So my condolences to that person. And we'll wait to see what Jim Acosta does next. I mean, no one is waiting to see what he does next. No, nobody, nobody cares. But I'm sure we'll hear anyway.
There you have it. Matt Walsh is seen absolutely decimating Jim Acosta here. What did you guys think about Jim Acosta's shocking resignation? Be sure to let me know down below. Feel free to check out some of my other videos if you enjoyed this one. Take care.